first incident in 6 years. Nagini has been burnt by a heat pad. This is the first 2 feet of his body. Then you can see the blisters begin. He laid on a heat pad way too long. And apparently didn't think he should get off. They're just filled with pus. And he's really pretty burnt right there on his midsection close to the end. That one looks really bad. I'm praying the tips that the veterinarian gave me would work. It looks like he has 2nd-degree burns. I'm not sure of the degree of how they measure it, but it's our first incident in 6 years. He's never had a problem, and we bought a under-the-tank heat pad, put it up under there, because it's been freezing this winter. However, the past few days, I guess the world didn't realize it wasn't winter anymore, and it warmed up immensely, like 70s. It's in the 70s. And the heat pad, he had a hide on top of the heat pad, which of course didn't help. So it just insulated it and just cooked him, basically. All of his outside on top, on the sides is fine, but his underbelly is completely burned. Like I said, I spoke to a veterinarian who told me to take everything out of his tank, leave him with water, which I'm going to go clean his water bowl, and put him on just flat paper every day. Change it twice a day. And I even looked on YouTube. I saw some videos where they said you could put Neosporin on. Look, one of them busted right now. One of his bubble, blisters busted just now. That's probably why he just raised his midsection. I'm assuming they say to do this because nothing abrasive in there will hurt him more or rip the bubbles open, because him sliding on his belly, of course, creates pressure and pops them anyway. But by then, they ought to be healing off of just a clean, dry area. If he defecates, if he urinates, clean it immediately. Don't let him get to touch it or lay in it. And then change this paper twice a day. People on YouTube suggested not to use newspaper because the ink could cause infection as well. So that's why I just use clean, regular, like, drawing paper. This is paper from a roll. No. But I hope he feels better. I feel terrible. In all my 6 years of having him, we've never had any problems with him. I've been a responsible caretaker, I'd like to think, and I never thought this would happen. But I didn't think to turn off that heat pad. And these days it's been warm. And I added a hide literally just maybe 2-3 weeks ago. I never give him a hide because it makes him a little more aggressive. He feels like he has to protect his little cave. So he stays in there all the time, and since he's a sweetheart, really the hide hasn't affected him, but I just never wanted to give it to him to give him the option of being aggressive. So tomorrow morning I'll make sure to clean this out, do it again, put some fresh paper down. I'm sorry, buddy. He seems to be active and fine, really. He does react to touch on his if you see, he's raising his bottom right here. It aches. You can tell it burns because he raises his body up off the paper because it's just dry enough to pull on his skin, I'm sure. Look, he made a little sad face out of his bumps. Oh, my baby. I'm sorry, buddy. I was crying earlier today when I discovered him. But hopefully this helps somebody with their pet snake. Turn off those heat pads as soon as it gets warm. Don't put the hide on the heat pad. Put it elsewhere because it insulates the heat and gets hotter inside the hive. And clean out I'm sure he had urinated inside the hide and was laying on moist, what's it called? Wood chips that I put in here. So that didn't help either. Abrasiveness with urine just created a bad breeding ground for bacteria. So we'll revisit him once he gets a little better, maybe in a couple days, and see if this treatment helps. Obviously we have an appointment with the vet to see if he needs any kind of ointment for burn care. Right now this is the best I can do.